Hey, so I'm going to do a comparison here of my Sligo Luchair, which I built in an apprenticeship with Rick Kemper, and my Music Maker Regency, which I built from a kit. So they're both 34-string harps, and they're very different in character. So Luchair is like a lighter, smaller harp that's built more for the trad players, more for like Irish type of music, but it's also good for everything. And the Regency is a more heavier harp with a much deeper bass, louder bass, and just a whole different type of character. So you hear the difference between them. One thing that's important to keep in mind is this actually, Sue Richards told me this when I was searching to upgrade from my Regency. And it was really helpful to me, was this piece of advice that when you're comparing harps, so I was having difficulty adjusting to the sound of the Luchair after I was used to my Regency. And she told me to think about it as not to compare them. I was expecting my Luchair to sound like my Regency but better, and it's actually they're two completely different harps, and they're supposed to be different. And every harp has a different character and a different purpose. So not to look at them as this one is better than that or this one's better than that, just as each one is a completely different harp for a different purpose. And what is it that you want more, that you connect to more for what you're looking for? So I'm going to start here with my Regency. One thing about the Regency to keep in mind is that it's very heavy. So if it's a harp you're planning on gigging with, definitely think twice about it. It is nice for events where they want a very big harp, someone who wants a big harp that makes an impression, like weddings and things like that. But keep in mind it's very heavy and very big and also tall. If you noticed, I used this cushion before to sit on it. It's not, for some of my size, I definitely need something more than a regular household chair. The Luchair, so for me it's a perfect size and perfect height, and I can sit on just any chair or bench that's available. I've noticed between them, I'll do some side-by-side comparisons right now next to each other so you can hear them closer. So the Regency, I find, has, the bass is very, very, that's like the plus of this harp. It has a really strong bass. Need to get back my cushion. So one of the things I think that was the main difference for me, but just there's nothing you can do about it. When you're dealing with a smaller harp, there is something that's gonna have to go. So for me, if I do octaves on the bass, on the Luchair, it helps balance the fact that's missing that deeper bass from a huger harp. When it comes to a gigging musician that you need your harp to take around, there's no question for me that I'm willing to give up that deeper bass for a harp that's lighter, and just the overall sound to me just sounds much more balanced. So let's just do side-to-side comparisons. I'll start with the highs. Let's do some arpeggios. So there you go. Hope you enjoy that. And again, this is just a really interesting example of two very different harps. They're definitely not comparing apples to apples. So you're more like apples to oranges or something like that. And something to keep in mind is the strings are very different. So the Regency is naturally strung with nylon, natively strung with nylon. And the Luchair is built originally to be strung with fluorocarbon. And due to some issues with Savers' fluorocarbon quality control, so there's been a lot of breakages in the upper octaves. So they've been recently being Rick advises to do them with nylon in the upper octave. Right now I've been experimenting with Sipario biocarbon strings, so I'm still experimenting with that instead of the fluorocarbon for the upper octaves. It's definitely much more stable, and I'll know more about the sound of that later. So bye.